Bailey Barker, and this is our macro change presentation. So our social issue is child maltreatment. Child maltreatment is a macro issue that continues to affect more children each year in the United States. Maltreatment consists of physical abuse, sexual abuse, neglect, and emotional abuse to any children under the age of 18. Maltreatment can affect children's development and cause permanent effects in their adulthood. Maltreatment affects approximately 720,000 children within the United States. And in 2010, there was approximately 50,000 abuse and neglect reports made just in the state of Kentucky. So the background and prevalence of child maltreatment. Gender, age, race all play a role in the prevalence. Gender, girls have a higher rate of being victims of maltreatment compared to boys. And children of younger age are more vulnerable to maltreatment. Race, higher prevalence of maltreatment and in the investigation are among African American children compared to white children. And there's a higher rate of maltreatment among children in foster care. Maltreatment can happen to any child regardless of their race, gender, and age. And the higher rates of maltreatment in children in foster care can be due to the risk of recurrence when they are reunified with their parents and caregivers, which were the perpetrators of maltreatment. Demographics of maltreatment. Factors that can influence child maltreatment include poor knowledge of child development, substance abuse, domestic violence, and mental health. Lower income neighborhoods, lack of community cohesion and isolation, and lack of supportive resources are also demographics that are prone to the risk of maltreatment. Lower income neighborhoods have lower rates of reporting maltreatment due to the inappropriate parenting actions, adequate knowledge of child maltreatment, and the failure of fulfilling the roles of being a caregiver or parent. And with the demographics, children that are maltreated often experience economic disadvantages later in life. Some negative outcomes and impacts of maltreatment that children experience can be short and long-term consequences. Children who suffer from maltreatment have a risk of physical injuries, delayed physical growth, neurological damage, and overall negative health outcomes. The effects of child maltreatment can cause mental health problems such as depression, anxiety, and emotional regulation. And often children that are maltreated are at risk of developing rebellious behaviors, which can lead to crime rates and overall childhood mortality rates. So as child maltreatment is a large social and macro issue, there has to be something done to prevent the rates of increasing and to ensure that children's safety and well-being are promoted. So we are making a macro change to start a new program that will provide direct therapy to maltreated children. So in the engagement, our goal is to provide direct therapy to maltreated children to address individual needs, ensure safety, and promote positive development. And with this, community input is vital for making change within our society. And our plan is to engage with the macro clients being maltreated throughout the Kentucky region and offer direct therapy to these children. We'll strive to address the macro root issues by community environmental factors, availability of resources, engagement in services, and addressing economic disadvantages that these children experience. Our innovative idea, so our gap in services would be providing direct therapeutic interventions to children that often lack therapy options. And while there are current efforts to lessen the problem of child maltreatment, there is still a lack of therapy to these children. There has to be programs that do not only provide prevention and post-response services to the family overall, but also addressing the children's needs specifically. So we will be implementing a short-term program that will be an addition to the organization of KVC Behavioral Health Care. Our program will offer services to children to enhance the lives of children and families by promoting medical and behavioral health care, social services, and education. So the next way we'll promote this program is through public awareness and public awareness campaigns, which will target schools, hospitals, neighborhoods, child protective services. So we'll be doing our public awareness campaigns, which will provide information about the program and services to the community and addressing the issue of child abuse and neglect. Receiving referrals from organizations that will work with children and promoting our services to these environments will also be a way that we will gain clients. And our program's vision, mission, and values. Our vision is for a society that enables all children to live in a safe and healthy environment, receiving love and support. Our mission is to enrich and enhance the lives of maltreated children by providing cognitive and behavioral therapeutic interventions. And our values are dedicated to assisting others, compassion, authenticity, collaboration, diverse perspectives, and urgency to helping those in need. And here's Grace.
Hello. So where we left off is leadership and staffing. These are going to be the staff members we'll have at KVC that are currently there, our clinicians, community service associates, psychiatrists, and an additional person we're adding to the staff is family advocates. And those individuals will serve as the advocates for children, and since they aren't able to advocate for themselves. The clinicians are kind of like the client therapists. They perform psychosocial assessments, provide therapy. The CSAs engage with the clients and promote the therapeutic activities. And the psychiatrists are offered only when needed to the clients, depending on their severity. The way we're going to invest in our program is through the fundraising events, grant writing, and the billing insurance. And this billing insurance stands for Behavioral Health. It stands for Behavioral Health Service Office. And the fundraising events will be promoted by having events of live music, games, and we'll be able to participate in several events throughout the year. All KVC staff will be able to attend and put on those events. And KVC applies for federal and state grants every year, who they've assisted in the past with children and these grants that have given children money in the past. So some potential challenges are parental opposition. So some parents are going to be uncomfortable with these therapy sessions, and they're not going to. It's going to be something that they're not used to if they do at home. The insurance plans, many different people are on different insurances, and certain ones will not be able to treat them, and some will have to turn families down or send them elsewhere. So child noncompliance, there's always children that will not want to participate, and so if they are not fully participating, they can't fully get the full effect of the therapy. Another problem we can run into is not enough funding. This nonprofit needs to work its way up and eventually figure out how we are going to be able to fund eventually, long term. Some budgeting concerns in regard to staff and employment. Again, these will come along with people staying and going and throughout the future. Some population assets are teachers, healthcare professionals, social workers, family involvement. So the teachers are vital, key aspects. They offer insight and increase awareness about abuse and neglect. Healthcare professionals help others and improve the lives of these children significantly. And social workers offer compassion and ensure safety and make sure everything is under the NASW Code of Ethics. And the families are obviously the closest and personal, closest to the client, so they will offer personal insight to them. So our plan of intervention, we're going to use cognitive behavioral therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy is aimed to boost happiness, get to the root of conflict, and treat thoughts and perceptions to influence our behaviors. So we are hoping to desire helping the children develop coping mechanisms, address strategies for trauma, to understand trauma, strengthen healthy relationships, and have positive reinforcement and nurturing perspectives for crisis intervention. Some strengths that we hope to accomplish for this program are for the kids, their strengths perspective of these kids. We hope they're going to be seeking help, they're practicing their coping skills, practicing adaptability to new environments, new people, practicing self-awareness, allowing oneself to be vulnerable, and having the willpower to push through trauma and interpret it. So that leads us to cost and benefits and budget. The financial overview is for 140,000 full-time workers and through 50 nonprofits organizations in the U.S. And the budget for that is around $6 billion per year. And the benefits of this program to provide direct services for children who need addressing for maltreatment. The monetary costs include facility, income, salary, training, software, computers, and the non-monetary costs are any donations given, any furniture, car seats, anything that can fit in the home. And so for our logic model, we have a diagram of how the steps that we are going to take to get there. And a rough estimate to spend is $9,600 yearly. And if we can provide a nurturing child with maltreatment we hope to include like around 1,000 children. And these children will be experiencing emotional, behavioral issues that can seek help. If that happens, then children can improve coping mechanisms and understand trauma. Children can develop strategies to strengthen the healthy relationships. If they do that, then children can perform and obtain the proper strategies of development. If they do that, children can evaluate their well-being and obtain future goals, and ultimately leads to children having the knowledge and capabilities to form happy and loving relationships. So for our termination phase, the clients will be asked to complete a survey. We'll have a celebration for after they have achieved their goals, and follow up with sessions afterward for a little while. In the survey, it'll include strengths and weaknesses of services, security and comfort of the environment, quality of staff, ranking of mental health, and ability to sustain positive strides accomplished. So to conclude, our need for the program is to implement therapy sessions that directly affect children and who have been negatively affected by maltreatment. The goal is to provide therapy sessions for children's victims of maltreatment, addressing their needs and promoting safe environments for the children. And it is important to address that there is an increasing rate of child maltreatment, and our goal is to ensure that they will be in safe environments and promote positive development through the rest of their childhood and ultimately their future. So we hope we can have an outlet to figure out ways, love, care, and experience happiness that these kids can experience in a healthy way. So thank you so much.